Hollywood. Hey, hi, folks. You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here, sunny Southern California. That guy out there is.
Todd, Mayville in cloudy and overcast Colorado.
Does it look like snow?
We got a little snow earlier today, like a dusting, so we probably get some more.
How has your snowfall been this
It's
winter?
actually been not bad at all. We got a
Is
few
that
inches, and then it kind of melts away. Like right now, there's not a lot of snow out there. It's kind of and then next week's supposed to go like 40s and 50s.
why?
So,
Well, we're supposed to warm up. We're at the end. I think this weekend it's like shorts weather. I'm gonna have to ditch these sweats and
wow,
put on some shorts again. And then in the middle of next week, it's gonna get cold again. So
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm dreading March because when it's nice like this now, come March, we're gonna get hammered. Not
Yeah,
excited. Not
yeah.
excited about that.
Well, I remember one year, I think I was still living in Texas, where it was July and there was still snow on the mountains in Colorado.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It,
Um, a couple of years back, we were getting snow into June. Like we had a
oh
wedding,
yeah.
we had a wedding, and it was the first day of summer, and it snowed because, of course.
Oh, well, living in San Antonio, when you're there on the first day of spring, and even in New Mexico would do that. It would snow on the first day of spring.
Yeah,
Your patio furniture is covered with, like a dozen feet or, a 12
yeah,
inch of snow.
always a good time.
Yeah, and well, then it melts, the next
Yeah,
day it's gone. It's just one day.
yeah.
So, folks, if you have been watching, if you stuck around for the Blanco review, you saw us taste and dissect Caleon tequila. This is the brand new one, fairly new on the market. Caleon means exceeding expectations. And as I told Todd, I am only here today for my expectations to be exceeded. So here we are. Um, this again a stock bottle. I've seen it before in other brands. Nice little label. I mean, it's not. I, you know, it's simple. I like that. That's a good sign for me.
Yeah,
That it's going to be a decent tequila. We just got these this week, so it wasn't sitting on my living room floor for like months, right?
yeah,
So I'm kind of anxious. We love the Blanco. The Blanco is
yeah.
stellar. It's a brand promise nominee. So yeah, looks some decent. It's a little
Nice little.
it's a little difficult to pour, but or maybe
Yeah,
not. I mean, it's got a good hand feel if you pour it
does.
like a wine bottle. You pour
Yeah,
it this way. So we just broke the seal off the cork here off camera. Okay, I'm gonna pour mine in a Stasso Jarrito that I normally use for mezcal. I've gotten to the point where I kind of actually prefer doing the reposados that way.
sure.
And I think Todd's going to use this handy dandy Glencairn.
I am indeed.
Okay. In the bottle, it looks a lot darker than it does
Yep.
in the glass. You notice
Yeah,
that? It's
does
like
for
a
sure.
pale gold.
Yeah,
And a lot of stuff that you'll see now, the labels will be like in red and it kind of red or green, and it makes the liquid look a little bit darker in the
yep.
bottle. But
I noticed. So this one doesn't have the same punch you in the face aromatics at the when you open the bottle. I
yeah,
didn't quite get the same pop, which is not bad, which is different.
no,
So,
it might have some barrel influence to it,
oh, for sure.
or other influences that
Yeah.
we may or may not detect, at least not right away. But it does have a little bit of a more of a pale gold color. I think on my screen it looks a little darker, but um,
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like a straw, that
yeah,
kind of light color.
but a full straw, not a pale straw. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not like it's a beat up barrel, but it is.
Nope.
You could tell it's like once used.
At least, yeah, for sure.
Well, it has to be unless it's a French oak barrel or something, and
Yeah.
even then if you have if you have enough money to have people make you French oak for just you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So chances are you don't.
Right.
But um, oh, there they go. Nice legs and tears. They're actually kind of
Oh yeah.
thick.
Yeah, it's pretty in the glass, that's for sure.
Oh yes, it's beautiful. It's very. pleasant to look at in the glass. And as a matter of fact, with the Blanco, Todd was just enamored with the
Yeah.
nose. Every time
Oh yeah.
every pass, he would catch something different, you know.
Yep.
And I know sometimes we, as geeks that we are, we kind of overdo it sometimes with just the nose and aroma,
Yeah.
and you forget. Oh wait,
Oh yeah.
I
Supposed to
gotta
drink
taste
it.
it. You know, do I have to taste it now?
Right. I mean, right now I've already been nosing it out.
Well, it's streaming like Netflix is all I can say.
Yeah. Right.
It's good. It's a good sign. So,
Sure.
uh-oh. What are you getting,
My
Todd?
first hit is like butterscotch or toffee.
Right. Yep. And it's deeper on the bottom. And and of course, my Stazo Jarrito, for those of you who understand what a Stazo Jarrito is, and this is the mezcal version, it's got a much wider mouth surface than the tequila version. The tequila version has the same mouth surface as a Glencairn, if you're
Yep.
familiar with your glassware. This one's a much wider mouth surface, so it's a little bit wider. And normally it's used for tequilas or mezcals of higher ABV, higher alcohol by volume, but it's not hiding the butterscotch. It's coming
No,
right up
it's
to,
right there. It's the
yeah.
first thing I got.
Yeah, and it's at the bottom and it's almost perfumey. Oh my God. That's what I was afraid of. And I'll get, if you haven't seen the Blanco review, I'll explain why I was afraid of that. Okay. By the way, Todd, is that off-putting for you?
The intense butterscotch.
Yeah.
I like butterscotch personally, so no.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
I mean,
All
me
right.
personally, I love butterscotch. I actually just found I got a cookbook that actually has a butterscotch recipe in it that involves Scotch whiskey that I'm dying. Yes, I am dying to try it. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh. Remind me next time when I get to Colorado, and I will. We're gonna have to go out, and you don't go drinking with this guy. You go out and you eat
Yeah,
because
it's a true story.
he's
True
such a
story.
gourmand. You know.
I love food and beverage.
Oh my God. Well, for me, it's a little more off-putting. It's very sweet on the nose, and
Yeah.
butterscotch is turning into. And I've said this before on other reviews. It
Yeah.
feels like sometimes I've seen it. I've experienced it much more intently in other brands, and other reposados and añejos. And it's almost like you ever drop a big bag of sugar at the supermarket and you get this puff
Yeah.
of like sugar cloud up your nose?
Yep. Yep.
That's kind of what I'm getting here. It's almost to that point.
Like I'm getting but like a yeah, because I'm also getting like cotton candy,
That's it.
you
Cotton
know?
candy. And it evolves in the glass. The funny thing is this aroma that there's an MO to it. There's a way it evolves that it eventually turns into like this orange, like orange crimsicle
Yeah.
kind of a flavor. It goes from like, butterscotch to what you mentioned, and then it
Okay.
turns into this orange.
And that's kind of where it's heading right now, actually, is the
Yeah, yeah. Well, before it gets any worse, shall we taste it?
yeah, let's do that.
Okay, here we go.
Wow.
Oh,
That's like syrup.
yeah. I was going to say, where's my agave? Are you getting any
No,
plant?
no.
And that was
That
so
makes me really sad.
characteristic of the Blanco. You think it would show up.
Yeah.
You think it would actually still be there. I didn't get it.
Mm-mm.
It almost, the sweetness overpowers everything.
Really does. Like, and that makes me really sad. To me, if you're a good distiller, you should still have agave in there.
You
You should.
heard it here first, folks. This guy's a bourbon steward, a catador, and a WSET second level
Yep.
wine guy, and now he's learning how to make cheese.
Yep.
Can't wait for you. You know what? When you start making your cheese, we got to pair some with some mezcal. We got to do a
That'd be
mezcal
cool.
tasting. That would
That'd be
be
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, be super fun.
Awesome. With
Yeah.
homemade cheese. The last time I did any of that, we actually were traveling through cross country. We stopped in Wisconsin, and you don't realize the stuff that we get from Kraft and all that
Oh,
commercially. No, it's the stuff that you get in your the gourmet section of like Trader Joe's or Whole
yeah.
Foods, and you pay a little bit more, but the cheeses were
Oh, I
outstanding, and
bet.
they're organic, and they're like within 50 miles of the
Yeah.
store
See,
that's
that's
selling
where
it.
it's,
They're fantastic
yeah.
with mezcals.
Oh,
You
sure.
pick a mezcal and pick any cheese from Wisconsin, from any
Mm.
grower that's worth, like you said, worth his salt or
Yeah,
his
yeah.
cheese, and it's fantastic. It's the for a charcuterie that probably be the more it'd be the most expensive charcuterie board we've ever had.
Right?
But considering a good bottle of mezcal is about $80-$90,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it's right in the same ballpark. Um, I'm gonna give it one more pass, but what are you getting? You just had your second pass on
I
it.
did have my second pass. I'm getting more of the agave coming through, but it's still not as much as I would like. I'm still getting a lot of butterscotch, a lot of toffee, some vanilla, a lot of sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and to me, still not enough agave character.
Mm-mm.
You know, I want agave as kissed by wood, not soaked in it.
What I'm getting too is there has to be barrel involved
Yeah,
because there is some pepperiness in it.
yeah, yeah,
You see, with it for me, I like it when my white pepper or green pepper turns into a hot cinnamon.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
then
yeah.
I know, then it's a barrel influence,
Yep,
correct? Because then your pepperiness is influenced by the tannins in the barrel, and it becomes a more of a hot, like an intense hot, maybe not like red hot,
right.
but it's more like a cinnamon hot.
Like the sweetness is overpowered. We should be getting some baking spices from the barrel, right?
Right,
But we're
right.
not. I'm not getting any baking spices at all, which is a bummer.
It's sad because that Blanco is really, really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I like the Blanco a lot. I'm just not
Well, whose idea was it to destroy it with this stuff?
right.
Wow, man. I'm bummed. I'm bummed because, you know, I used to say that if you like the Blanco, you'll like the rest of the line. Uh, that may not be the case with Caleon, at least not with this Reposado.
Right. I mean, like here it says their tasting notes on the reposado: aroma, vanilla, cinnamon, white oak, agave, and honey. And all I got was butterscotch. And then for taste, caramel, vanilla with a touch of butterscotch. But all I get is butterscotch. And I'm definitely they're finished as smooth and sweet chocolate with hints of toasted coconut. I'm not getting that either.
No, I'm
So
not getting any of that.
no,
Um, and again, I've got a wider mouth surface, so I keep swirling it. Still my first pour with these type of glasses, you don't need a lot.
yeah. You know, it's
But
weird.
what's
When
that?
I get down about halfway down my Glencairn,
Uh-huh.
I start getting marshmallow.
Yeah. See? And that's the MO of this. Okay, I'm gonna come out and say it. It's not just barrel, folks. There's something in here that there's something rotten in Denmark. Okay. That reference will be lost on anybody who's, Gen Z or younger. Um, there's just not it does. It evolves, and don't be surprised if, like, after we sign off, you'll start to sense orange, like orange oil.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
just evolve. It'll go from butterscotch to cotton candy to like powdered sugar, uh uh and then it turns into marshmallow, you
yeah.
know. Now I've had marshmallow one time in a much older uh expression from another maker, and you could tell it was natural marshmallow, and you don't get it right away. It took
Right.
it up. We were having dinner, and he was we were sampling his extra añejo that had just rolled out. He hadn't even bottled that many, and he brought it to meet with us, myself and Alex. And I swear I had them in much more fancier glasses that were stemmed. And it took it an hour
Wow.
before it actually evolved into marshmallow.
Huh.
It took it an hour, and this was an aged spirit, before I literally got anise, which
Wow,
you
that's
don't
awesome.
get in an aged
No.
spirit. You get it in blancos. That's where I
Yep.
look for it. But and that's what you look for. It's got to evolve in the glass, and then it's a natural thing. It's not going to happen right away, like this expression. Oh, Jesus. And then the nose, you can smell it like the aroma's clinging to the
Yeah,
glass before it even goes in your nose. Now, again, granted, Todd likes butterscotch. Do
I
you like
do.
it? Do you like it that much, Todd?
Not that much.
That's what I
Not in
thought.
my like. Yeah. No.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if I'm gonna have butterscotch and tequila, I want hints of it. I don't want it because I still want the agave. I want to know I'm drinking tequila. So
That's the whole point.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So again, if you didn't watch our first review, this is coming from Destiladora del Valle, 1438. And I was afraid of that. Every Blanco I've ever had, except for one out of this distillery, has been stellar. They know how to make a Blanco. If all they did was the Blanco, well, of course it'd be the same brand because
Yeah.
but I can't even if you take all that time to bake it in a stone oven. Maybe you're not maybe you mix it with some autoclave
Yeah.
agave. If you start with decent agave, why is it not coming through?
Right.
Why?
Yeah. What are they doing? What do they do to this?
Well, they don't have to. I mean, unless they're not starting with, unless this juice is not what we tasted in the Blanco, maybe, I don't know.
I know.
I don't want to speculate. Here's
Yeah.
what I want to do. Tell me what the price point is on this thing.
Price point on this was, let me pull up on my phone, $79.99.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be spending
I don't
$80.
think so.
No,
Nope. I can't do it. I
so
can't do it.
I would be
Anyway,
disappointed.
folks, we could beat this dead horse to death. I don't want to.
Nope.
That's our take on Caleon Reposado. Do they even tell us on the how long this is being aged at all in barrels?
It
You don't
does
get
not
information on
say.
barrels. It doesn't even tell you what barrels they're using, right?
Nope. No, it doesn't tell you what barrels or how long. So,
That's interesting.
yep,
It goes from the appearance to the aroma to the taste
yep,
and that in the
and that's
finish.
it. Yep.
Fresh herbal.
I mean, it says
And
American white oak, so you'd probably bourbon barrels.
okay, I'll go there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but pretty
but,
well. I don't know.
but where's the bourbon?
Yeah, exactly. They've
Because
been,
bourbon finishes, for me, bourbon gives that hot cinnamon we were
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about earlier. It turns your white pepper into the red hot cinnamon, and
yeah,
not so much like red hots, but it's cinnamony.
yeah. And
Uh,
if these were bourbon barrels or whatever white oak barrels, they've been used a lot. They're
yeah,
older
because the color
barrels.
is not very dark.
No,
No,
no, these are older barrels for sure.
yeah. Um, I will say that it does have a much longer finish than the Blanco.
Yes, that's for sure. It
Yeah.
does.
So, I don't know for the price. I wouldn't even mix the Blanco, even though it would be a good Paloma.
Hmm.
But for this price, if you're gonna mix it, I would drown it in something that would overpower, the butterscotchy kind of thing.
Yeah,
And if butterscotch is your thing, hey, more power to you.
sure.
We got your tequila for you right now.
You could
Okay.
do like an old fashioned with this with like a chocolate bitters or a spice chocolate bitters.
But then that would balance it out
It
though.
would, exactly, exactly. It would tone down this butterscotch. It would tone down that butterscotch. It would make it a little bit more
Yes.
interesting to listen, more depth.
Thank you to listen
Yeah.
to and taste.
Just saying.
You know what? Again, if you folks have had it and you're buying it, leave us a comment if you're watching us on YouTube. Give us give us a comment. Give us a thumbs up. Tell us what you're doing with it, what you're paying for it. Maybe it's cheaper across the country. I don't know. But what I can tell you from what we've experienced today, from the Blanco to the Repo, it's an extreme. It really is
Yeah.
an extreme. There's the consistency in other brands. You have a natural progression, or
Mhm.
sometimes you have, the idea is to make three different flavor profiles for three different markets. But this one is just, black
Yeah.
and white. I mean, it's extreme. It really
Very
is.
interesting to see. I'm interested in the añejos, making me a little nervous.
Me too. Yeah. So stick with us if you're watching us on YouTube, or if you're listening to us on the podcast. Listen up. We're coming back with the añejo version of Caleon, but that's our take on the reposado. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That guy out there is
Todd Mayville in Rocky Mountains, Colorado.
You have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give us a like, tell us what you're doing with it, and whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.